Take out a paper, take out a pen, and you need to write this down. See, when I joined this business, they spoke about estate planning. I was told about legacies, estates, talking about working with clients of all levels. When we talk about estate planning, a lot of people think it's about writing a will, setting up a trust, doing a foundation, creating that structure that would allow my assets and my income and my businesses, etc., to pass on from one generation to the next. Correct? Do we all agree we need a will? Yes? Do we all agree? Everyone should write down what should happen with their assets, correct or not? Right, so that's the legal part, right? Do you agree that you need to do proper tax planning so that you don't lose your wealth to taxes? Yes, do we agree to that? Right, so that's the tax planning part. Now, the next biggest concern, because this is what everyone thinks is estate planning. I've written my will, I've got my taxes sorted out, my estate planning is done. That's what people think. Now, I want you all to think about this. How much do you charge to write a will or to set up a trust? A few thousand ringgit, right? Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6,000 ringgit. Why do you waste your time on that? Let the lawyer do that. Let the lawyer do it. Stop taking the lawyer's job. It is their job to do it. For 5,000 ringgit, let them do it. How much does a real tax consultant cost? How much does a real tax consultant cost for a family? I've worked with some of the wealthiest families. A tax consultant's cost is not more than 20,000 US dollars. Not more than that. One of the top 4 companies, right? 20,000 US dollars, that's their tax fee, tax planning fee. I let them do that job. That is not our job. Let the tax planners do their job. Let the accountants, the chartered accountants do their job. Why are you trying to say I'm also a tax planner? You're not. Are any of you qualified lawyers in the room? No. You're not. Stop lying. I have a master's in law and I'm telling you I'm not a qualified lawyer. How many of you are chartered accountants in the room? Wow, nobody are. You see, even the chartered accountants don't sell insurance. Tell me something, is insurance a tax-free product? Yes. Then how can it not be part of a tax planning process? Can we agree on that? If a tax-free product is not part of your estate, you have got an inefficient estate. If a tax-free product is not part of your estate, you have an inefficient estate. But how many chartered accountants promote insurance? Very few. Why? Because they don't understand the purpose of insurance. They don't understand the objectives of insurance. They don't understand the structure of insurance. And that is the purpose of you being in this profession, is having that conversation with lawyers and chartered accountants and explaining what our product does, but not doing their job. You don't go to a client and say, I'm a tax planner. You don't go to a lawyer and to a client and say, I'm a lawyer and I'll help you do that. Let the lawyers do that job. By the way, that's only 2 elements. Only 2 elements of estate planning that you don't have to do. There are 5 more elements of estate planning that you have to do. Inheritance. This is one of the most important parts of estate planning. What should your children inherit? What should your children inherit? And I want you all to think about this. I'll give you a very simple case study. I'm working with a family in Dubai. The client, he owns 6 beautiful buildings in Dubai. And he said, Sanjay, my children will never inherit the building, but they get to inherit the income from the building. So whatever is the rental income, they can use that. That is their inheritance. Not the asset, but the income from the building is their inheritance. I said, fantastic. It's a good idea, right? Can we all agree it's a good idea? So I asked him, I was like, how can you stop them from selling? And he said, I put in a truster. I got the lawyers to draft the trust. My letter of wishes clearly states they're not allowed to sell the building. However, they can consume the income from the building. I said, great, what about your taxes? He's like, I've got a chartered accountant. He manages that, right? He knows how to show the income. He knows how to do the expenses. He expenses the income from the building as dividends. Dividends are tax-free in Dubai, and the children get tax-free income. Beautiful structure. Can we agree? So what is my role to play now? I was like, Mr. Client, you're absolutely correct. But we've got two problems to consider. Number one, a building loses value over time because you need to reconstruct, redevelop, maintain all of that. Where is that money going to come from? Where is that money going to come from? So, there are two ways to do it. You take a percentage of your current rental income, keep it aside into what I call the renovation fund. This fund will be used in 20 years to renovate the building. Because an asset needs to be maintained for it to hold value. An asset needs to be taken care of so that it appreciates over a period of time. Otherwise, it depreciates. Even real estate can become a depreciated asset if it's not maintained. So we need to set up a renovation fund. Now, there are two ways to set up the renovation fund. 20 years is approximately one generation. 20 years is approximately one generation. I can use insurance to create it. So when you die, there's a new fund created which will renovate all the properties. So every generation buys insurance to use for renovation, or you take a percentage of your rental income, keep it aside, and renovate the property. Now, that is the renovation fund, right? After 50 years, you need a rebuilding fund. Because a building after 50 years cannot stand by itself. Its foundation is also weak. So you need to have a rebuilding fund. That, for sure, you should never remove from your rental income. You should use insurance to create. And he's like, how come my lawyer did not tell me this? How come my tax advisor does not tell me this? How come no other insurance agent tells me this? And the reason is because we don't show this to our clients. Rental income, a percentage has to go for renovation, a percentage has to go for rebuilding. What is that percentage? So that's what I'm going to share with you. Simple percentage. 10% of your rental income is for renovation, 10% of your rental income is for rebuilding. It's as simple as that. So 20% of that income you need to keep aside for the maintenance of that asset. Simple. So if you get 6 buildings, whatever rental income you get, 20% goes towards renovation and rebuilding. What product can you use for that? Very simple. You can use life insurance. You can use a saving plan. You can choose which product you like. Make sense? Do you have a 20-year payment saving plan? Yes. Right? Which matures after 20 years. You have endowment plans, correct or not? You have the product. You just don't know how to use it. I use it for inheritance.
Ever wondered how some advisors always manage to close bigger cases? Their secret often lies in focusing on inheritance and succession planning. Hi there, my name is Dr. Sanjay Tolani and I've got some exciting news for all of you. On the 5th of July in Malaysia and 7th of July in Singapore, I'll be running a special workshop called Inheritance and Succession Planning 2023. In this session, I'll show you how to tap into this niche and open up 200% larger premium cases in 2023 without needing to learn about will writing. Now, this new approach could be your ticket to handling larger cases and boosting your career. So don't miss out. Click on the link to grab your tickets. I can't wait to see you at this special 4-hour seminar.
Okay, what's the next thing? This is actually there in the, how many of you have got my estate planning playbook? This triangle is actually there in that book. Read it whenever you have time. What's the next step? Whoever's got the book, tell me what's the next step? What? None of you have read it, huh? You bought the book, you don't even read it. Why did you buy it? Huh? What's the next thing, guys? Anyone. Okay, whoever tells me gets a book for free. Wow, comes out straight away, huh? The next and the most important one is charity. I'm going to ask all of you a question. How many of you like to do charity? How many of you wish you could do charity but can't do it? How many of you wish you can do charity but you think you don't have enough to do it? Be honest. There's no client here. How many of you don't care about charity? None of you. Good. All right. Guys, I want you to think about this. What happens with a charity? We saw a charitable, we all help contribute to a charity this few days, correct or not? Now, what is the biggest problem in charity? Fundraising, right? They're always raising funds because they're always running dry. Can we agree? Now, I work with about 4 charities globally, and what I do with them is a fundraising exercise. So I tell them a very simple thing. You have to build a short-term fund, a medium-term fund, and a long-term fund. I want to ask all of you all this question. How many of you want to do charity only once? And how many of you want to do charity every year for the rest of your life? How many of you want to do for every year? Every year. Okay. How many of you want to just do it once and forget about it? Exactly. You see, nobody wants to do it once and forget about it. But that's what usually happens because we can only do charity once. So I sit down with charities and I'm like, listen, you will always have this dilemma, you will always have this problem that I have, for example, 500 children to take care of. I have 500 children today to take care of, but I only have money for 100. So I have to reject 400, correct or not? Even if I raise more money, I can probably take care of another 20 more. But I have still reject 380 children. You're anyways rejecting. Take a little bit more rejection and start creating a fund that is sustainable. If you don't build a charity for sustainability, the charity will shut down. So why don't I do one thing? Why don't you introduce me to your donors, right? People who are already donating to you, why don't you introduce me to your donors and I will build an income stream from their donation. I will ask them, what do you want to do? Do you want to do charity once, not be associated with us anymore? Or do you want to do some charity now and some that companies that comes every year? And some that you come just for the rest of your kid's life? Think about it. Do you have a product that pays cash coupons every year? Yes? Do you have a product that pays cash coupons every year? Sure. You want me to tell you your product name? It's called Enrich 20. Well, I know your products, huh? You have a product that pays cash coupon every year, correct or not? So I tell your clients, very simple. You have the opportunity to do charity once, or you have the opportunity to do charity for the rest of your life. As a charity, if you buy this product, we will recognize you for every year that we receive contribution from you. Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you like to be recognized every year for the rest of your life? Everyone would, right? And I tell that to charities, why don't you buy loyalty? Why don't you buy loyalty? And what have they done now? They actually introduce me to their donors as a charity specialist. They say Sanjay is a charity specialist. He is a man who can help you build a charity that's sustainable for generation after generation after generation. Your family will be a member of our charitable donation campaign. We will actually put up your name because that's what you want, right? Why do people do charity? For the fame, let's be honest. Didn't we all put up our names outside? Right or not? Everyone did 200 ringgit so you can put your name up. True or not? Some of us spelt it out. Just in case you can't see my name. Why? Because that's what we do it for. Be honest. Our clients do it for exactly the same reason. So I became a specialist with charities. Now, do I have to do prospecting? No. They actually introduced their donors to me already. They're existing donors. Insurance is a guaranteed payout. Can we agree? Can you do charity with it? Yes. Do you realize it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that you don't even know about? You don't even have to focus on the other aspects of estate planning. You can just say, I will do charity, and that's it. You could become top of the table every quarter. 4 charities I work with. You know how much premium I've collected just from 4 charities not from the charity, but from the donors? In the last 2 years, I've collected in more than $500 million in premium. Because people are willing to spend for their name to be recognized for the longest time possible. You will be surprised. Don't you all wish that your children are charitable? Be honest. Don't you all wish that your children learn to do charity? I help them create the fund for it. You see, you automatically become charitable when it's not your money. You automatically become charitable when it's not your money. So if your parents have built a product, a system, you don't mind doing the charity because your parents funded it. And you call it the family charitable fund. Sounds good, huh? True or not? How many of you want your children to be humble? Okay, let me share a secret. Humbleness is a privilege of the rich. Humbleness is a privilege of the rich. Let me explain. If you are poor and you wear normal clothes, you're just poor. But if you're rich and you wear normal clothes, you are humble. You cannot be poor and humble. You can only be rich and humble. Okay? True or not? Humbleness is a privilege of the rich. So if you want your children to be humble, you have to first make sure they are rich. Correct or not? You all say, I want my children to be humble. I want them to value money. Give them money first, then they will value it. You don't give them money and then you tell them, find it. How do you think they will value it? Humbleness is a privilege of the rich. Please understand that. You've seen this on Facebook, right? $100 billion in this photograph, not a single Gucci belt, not a single Armani. So humble. Imagine you're poor, net worth $100, no Gucci, no Armani, poor. You get the problem, guys. So if you truly want your children to be humble, you have to build the right system for them to be humble for. You know, when they say it's all about inner beauty, you have to first be beautiful to say that. Okay? No one has an X-ray machine to see your inner beauty. Think about it. So if you truly want your kids to be humble, you have to first make sure that they are rich. And you have to build the right system of charity so that they learn the opportunities of how to be humble. How to be humble. I buy a Ferrari. Does that mean I'm not humble? Humbleness is an attitude to life. It's not where you spend your money, it's how you spend your money. That's an attitude that you have to teach your children. Charity is one of the most important aspects of any estate plan. What's the next thing? Retirement. Very important part of an estate plan. Where do you think the money comes from for your retirement? From your estate, correct or not? Now, let me ask all of you this question. How would your children react if they see you removing money from the estate on a regular basis, spending it wherever you like, and the economy is bad? What will they say? Dad, why are you spending money? The economy is bad. Yeah, but it's my retirement. It's my money, I earned it. Retirement cannot be part of your estate. Retirement has to be outside your estate. And I want you all to remember this. Retirement plan has to be outside of your estate. And my father taught me this. One day I was sitting with my dad. And he said, Sanjay, everything that I have is yours. Everything that I have is yours. By the way, if you still need more, come back to me. By the way, if you still need more, come back to me. How many of you want the ability to say that to your children? He just said something. He said, Sanjay, I didn't understand the words first. Because he just said, everything that I have is yours. So if everything that you have is mine, and if I need more, how do I come back to you? Correct or not? True or not? If everything of yours is mine already, how will you give me more? My dad gets a pension on a monthly basis. He gets $30,000 every month. Right? He can spend it wherever he likes. He doesn't have to ask my permission, correct? Because it's outside the estate. Now, most people, their retirement is part of their estate. So they keep telling me, Sanjay, I can always withdraw money from my business. I can spend the rental income that I get from my properties. I can spend the income that I get from my fixed deposits. What will the children say in the future? And I want you all to think about this. Your children will always keep wondering, why are you spending the money that they should be inheriting? So your retirement plan has to be outside of your estate. And that's why when I do estate planning, retirement planning is one of the most important aspects because it creates a power that nobody else can create for you. It creates a power that nobody else can create for you. The most powerful words that my father ever said to me were those words, right? Don't all of you wish you had the power to say that? Don't all of you wish you had the power to say that? Yes or no? That son, whatever is mine is yours, but if you still need more, come back to me. That's power. That's true power, man. And that's what I help families create. Real power.
Ever wondered how some advisors always manage to close bigger cases? Their secret often lies in focusing on inheritance and succession planning. Hi there, my name is Dr. Sanjay Tolani and I've got some exciting news for all of you. On the 5th of July in Malaysia and 7th of July in Singapore, I'll be running a special workshop called Inheritance and Succession Planning 2023. In this session, I'll show you how to tap into this niche and open up 200% larger premium cases in 2023 without needing to learn about will writing. Now, this new approach could be your ticket to handling larger cases and boosting your career. So don't miss out. Click on the link to grab your tickets. I can't wait to see you at this special 4-hour seminar.